Emmy gets up suddenly and leaves the table, leaving me and Miss Ibarasaki alone. I'm a little conflicted. Should I go after her, or should I stay here? It's obvious that Emmy's departure was not based on the call of nature. Something's bothering her, and I have to know what it is. How'd I go about it? Oh boy. I don't know. I don't know. Oh boy. Why is there no music? I'm so scared. I'm so scared. I'm so scared, guys. I don't know what to do. Um. Maybe she just needs to be alone for now. Oh God. I don't. This is why I cut this stuff. No. Um, go. Let's go talk to her mom. There's an awkward silence at the table for a while. After Emmy's dashes off, I can't think of anything to say. Emmy's mother sighs, breaking the silence. Sorry about this, Al. I sometimes forget that Emmy's touchy about certain subjects. I was talking about the wheelchair thing, too. Should I go after her? Heavens no, she didn't leave the table to continue the conversation, you know. But if she's troubled, shouldn't someone help her? That's another reason I chose to stay, because, again, going back to Mattel, I observe the things around it, right? Whatever. If it weren't anyone else, I'd say yes, but my daughter is stubborn as a mule, as if she wants to be alone. It's best to let her be alone. Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, she'll probably say something she'd regret, which would cause you to say something you'd regret. And I'd prefer that dinner doesn't end with one of both of you storming out of the house. Okay, it's pretty obvious what happened with the whole father thing, right? And Sal is clueless for some reason. So, yeah, that would happen. If that were to happen, I'd be terrible hostess, wouldn't I? I have already acted as a fool once today. That's okay. I shouldn't have brought up the wheelchair, apparently. Miss Ibarasaki frowns, clearly bothered by Emmy's mission. Then she let on. I wish she wouldn't do that. It just makes me worry more, you know? She does this often? What, running off to the bathroom? No, I can't say she does. Keep injuries from her mother, though? Oh, that's a little more common. Every time I catch her lying like that, she assures me that the only reason she didn't tell me is because it wasn't a big deal. If it's any consolation, I'm sure the only reason I knew about it at all was because I saw her every day. That elicits a dry chuckle from across the table. Mr. Berzaki sighed a little sadly. Still hesitant about getting close to people, huh? I keep hoping that she'll get over that. It's funny, really. She bounced back so well from the accident in so many ways. Guess some things never really go away. From the looks of it, the whole thing still bothers her, too. She seems to be a little more willing to talk about the accident without Emmy around, though. Hey, I've got a question if it's alright. Oh? What else did Emmy lose in that accident? The nurse said that she'd get this way near the anniversary, and she won't talk about it to me. So you thought I'd fill you in, yeah, hopefully. Well, there's a problem with that request, you know. Let me guess, you promised Emmy that you wouldn't tell anyone that she didn't want to know? You don't know if she wants me to know? Something like that. I promised Emmy that she'd be the one to tell people the full story. But isn't that important? I mean, it clearly had a huge effect on her. If she still liked this so long after the accident happened. That's true. It did have a long-lasting effect on her. There are a few things that she'd probably never really get over. For a moment, Miss Ibarazaki looked incredibly saddened, as if an old wound is bothering her. I suppose there are things you'll never really get over either. Another dry chuckle, and with a shaking of her head, Emmy's mother banishes the memory. Look, there's something you absolutely must understand about the way Emmy thinks about the accident. What's that? It wasn't a big deal. Somehow I managed to keep my mouth from falling open in surprise, but it takes some effort. That has to be the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I beg your pardon? Okay, maybe it's not that simple, but it's a pretty accurate summation. Emmy believes that the accident did not define her, and that everything she's lost that day didn't define her either. She's not that girl who lost her legs. She's the fastest thing on no legs. Her optimism and energy came out of the wreck without a scratch, as far as she's concerned. Yet, it goes beyond that, doesn't it? I mean, last night she told me that she refused to rely on me because it make losing me to people. Not really. You said she won't tell you about the accident, even though you've asked her about it before. The reason she won't talk about it when you ask it because to her it's something you absolutely need to know. Even if she wasn't terrified of getting too close to anyone, she still wouldn't talk about it. She's afraid of being close to me. Oh goodness me, yes. For all that talk about being unscathed by the accident, she's gained the ugly knowledge of how quickly it can all be over. So, she's not going to let other people, especially close to her. And she certainly wouldn't resent any implication that she cannot work through this on her own. But I don't think she can. Oh no? Are you sure you've been dating my daughter and not someone else? Trust me, it's Sam. She could get through it on her own. But she has nightmares and can't sleep well, and she does this every year. Tell me, if she wasn't able to get through it on her own, do you really think she'd still be alive? She would have killed herself or something equally melodramatic. So, what? I shouldn't try to help her? I didn't say that. I hate seeing my daughter like this, and knowing that she could rely on someone else would let me relax. You just need to understand that accepting help goes against everything Emmy thinks about herself and the way the world works. If you still want to offer her help, then I guess that's your call. Honestly, I'd like you to, but it'd be silly not to warn you that it's not going to be easy. You just need to be patient with her. She's already closer to you than anyone else she's ever met at Yamaku. Well, it sure doesn't feel like we're very close. Good, that makes part. Oh my god. Oh, peace. Emmy's voice nearly gives me a heart attack. Whoa, didn't hear you come back, Emmy. How convenient. Wait, were you eavesdropping? Nope, just happened to come back at the right moment, I guess. Emmy, that was just... Emmy holds up her finger, cutting her mother off. What is that? On his way out of the house? Yeah, I know. Emmy's trembling with anger now, looking badly betrayed. Emmy, don't be ridiculous. We were just... You promised. The pain carried in the last word is almost too much for me to bear. The idea that I could hurt her that much is like being kicked in the gut. Emmy's mother looked similarly pained by the thought. And I kept that promise. Just listen, there's no reason to go throwing people out of the house. Emmy's mother seems to be both angry at her daughter's outburst and embarrassed that I'm a witness to it. There's only one real solution to the problem, I think. It's okay. I'll go. Now really, that seems a little unnecessary. Don't worry about it. Thank you for the dinner, Mr. Burzaki, and for the advice. It was my pleasure, Sal. I'm sorry we didn't get to the dessert. That's okay. I have to watch what I eat anyway, so... Good evening, Emmy, Mr. Burzaki. The formality of our conversation, coupled with the fact that I'm getting ready to leave, seems to snap Emmy out of her anger. No, wait. I'm sorry. I've been so... And after last night, I just thought, you don't have to go. I take it back. It's okay. I can't help but smile slightly. She can barely articulate her apology, and I really would like to stay. But I don't think I can right now. I need to think about what her mother said, and about what I'm going to do about us. I don't want to risk accidentally getting angry in her current state either. No, I think I better leave. You seem pretty shook up, and well, I'd only wind up trying to help you again. I know you'd prefer I didn't, so I'm gonna leave instead. But, hey, it's not a problem. You don't want a knight on a white charger, right? Just promise me one thing, okay? What? Don't be angry at your mom, okay? She was just giving me some advice, that's all. I mean, nods hesitantly, like the simple idea is all that she can grab onto at this point. She's so terribly off balance, but I can't do anything about that right now. Okay. See you tomorrow, okay? I'm running in the morning, don't forget. I can't see that I've heard Emmy. I can see that I've heard Emmy by deciding to leave, but there's nothing I can do for her. As things stand, I know that she's too stubborn to admit that she wants me to stick around. I watch various emotions cross Emmy's face as she tries to process everything that just happened. Shortly comes that calm look again, like last night, and that voice that tries so hard to sound careless. Sure, Sal. See you around. Both of us are unwilling to concede emotion at this point, and I'm having a hard time keeping my facade, so I turn on my heel and walk out the door. I shut it behind me slowly, pausing for a moment as the latch catches my hand on the doorknob. Did I make the right decision just now? Should I have stayed and tried to work things out? No, I decide. Not in front of her mother like that. In spite of everything, I'd rather keep Emmy's mother insulated from the sort of anger that surfaced that last night. Even though she's probably used to it, some protective instinct wants me to keep Emmy's image as cheerful girl intact. With a start, I realize my hand is still resting on the knob. I take my hand away, put it in my pocket, and head down the slowly darkening street. I let out a long breath. The wait until tomorrow morning comes isn't going to be easy. In any case, I have to think on what to say to Emmy. I must apologize, and I must get through to her somehow. On that account, something had been on my mind for most of the way back to my room. The letter of apology from Iwanako. I was so concerned about my new life when I received it that I didn't even bother to really read it. Now that I find myself in a similar position, my curiosity got rekindled. What did she say? What did she want to let me know so badly? If nothing else, reading her thoughts might help me frame mine. I remember tossing it away. Damn, where did I throw that thing? I checked under my desk. That turns up nothing. So I look for harder to reach, more unlikely invitations. Well now, I know where the lost sock went at least. Still in the letter though. It's when I try sweeping my arm under my nightstand and I keep something crinkly jammed between it and the wall. Grunting a little with effort, I reach for my prize and soon manage to bring it into the light. Bingo. I sit at my desk and spread the paper open. A flick turns down the table lid. Skimming past the empty pleasantries, I look for the point where I stop reading. Here it is. There are other things I want to say. I'm writing to you because I felt that there were things I should have said that after the incident back in winter. I really regret that I wasn't able to say that in person, and I have no excuse for visited you at the hospital made me worried about you, but I'm not talking about your health. You seem to become more distant and disheartened. It was a natural after something like that happened. I'm sure, but somehow I got the feeling that you had given up on something back then. Happiness, maybe? Giving up on happiness. That sounds unpleasantly familiar. I wanted to somehow express my feelings, but the right words didn't come to me. I couldn't say anything to comfort you. I am really sorry for not being able to support you when it mattered the most, even though I like you so much. At least now, finally, I can be more honest. If I could go back to those quiet days in February and March, I'd tell you not to give up on yourself. That was what I would say. Maybe you wouldn't have drifted so far away if I had just said something. I hope you managed to get back on your feet on your own. Now that the distance between us is also physical, it also feels more final, somehow. I wonder if we will meet again. Perhaps it's for the best if we don't. Still, if you'd like to correspond with me, by all means, write me back. I'd very much like to hear about your new school and how you're doing. I wish you all the best. Sincerely, Yamanako. After finishing reading the letter, I smoothed it out carefully and set it aside on my desk. Thank you, Inako. I wanted to answer yes to your question on this snowy winter day, but I never got to. By the time we met again, it was too late. So I thought, what would have happened if I had behaved differently back in that dismally sterile hospital room? I'm sorry. There's no point in wondering now, but there's no point in trying to forget either. I am who I am because of all of that happened to me and all I look forward to experience, present, future, and past. The past may just have taught me an important lesson now. Act 4. Motion. The sound of my alarm is an unwelcome intrusion on a sleep that's been a battle to obtain. I doubt I've truly asleep for more than an hour or so. Too much on my mind. Didn't I make the right choice leaving the house yesterday? Did I manage to get Emmy to realize how unreasonable she's been? Am I ever going to manage to get her to stop being unreasonable? Emmy's mom gave me a new perspective the other day. I'm still not sure that it's the right perspective. She was hurt when I left yesterday too. I know that part of any conversation is going to have to include an apology about that. Right thing to do or not, I heard her. I hurried down the track, eager to talk to Emmy. I think I know what to say. Apologize for leaving first and go ahead from there. Unless, of course, Emmy doesn't show up. Which, from the looks of things, seems like it's the case. It's been about 15 minutes since I got here and there's no sign of her. She's never late, not unless she's sick, which is unlikely. She probably just doesn't want to see me right now. To take my mind off what that implies, I begin my warm-up routine and take off around the track. It clears my mind wonderfully for the half hour I'm running. I don't think about anything but the run. However, once I finished and Emmy still hasn't shown up, I get a little worried. Any luck with will the nurse know where she is? If nothing else, I can see what he thinks I should do next. So the last night didn't go too well, I take it. Huh? You already know? I have my ways, and it's not as if I'd missed the distinct absence of your running partner this morning, now would I? No, I suppose not. So what happened? Don't you already know? Maybe, but I could be bluffing. Perhaps I'd prefer to get your side of the story before I give my advice. I quickly filled the nurse in on any events last night. I takes it all in without changing expression once. Nothing about the whole event seems to surprise him. Although he does seem surprised when I say I didn't follow Emmy. Chose to talk to her mother instead, huh? Smart move. Well, I guess it didn't work out too well for you in the end. Well, I'm not sure. Emmy seems apologetic when I left. At least she seemed that way until she put up her defenses again. The nurse sighs and spreads his hand in a conciliatory gesture. Frankly, I'm surprised she let them down at all. Emmy had a lot of practice on that score. You probably won't get anything else out of her. I don't believe you. Is that so? You think she'll tell you the whole tale? I swear I just saw that nurse's eyes glitter a little. The expression is the same, but he leans forward ever so slightly. I think she'll open up if I ask her without being angry about it yet. The nurse gives me an enigmatic smile in response and shrugs wildly. I think he enjoys his role a little too much. That's the real trick, isn't it? Are you sure you know the right way to approach the subject? I guarantee that Emmy's gonna try her hardest to pretend last night didn't happen. It'd be painfully awkward for both of you, but it'll also be a lot safer than trying to ask her for the whole story again. It could go worse this time. Are you ready for something like that? It sounds like a challenge he doesn't believe for a minute that'd be so bold. I actually feel like a little insulted by his lack of confidence in me. Of course I'm ready for that. I love her. My outburst gives the raised eyebrow in response. Well then. Good luck. Let me know how it all turns out. Well, he delivers a parting shot with the same smirk as usual. I actually think that the nurse wants me to succeed. I resist the urge to charge directly to Emmy's room, prove the nurse wrong. I've gotten half-cocked before, then the results were less than stellar. If I'm gonna do this, I need to figure out exactly what I'm gonna say, and how I'm gonna say it. Something to think about in class. Sure enough, by the time lunch rolls around, I think I have a good enough idea of what to say. I can do this. The bell rings, I grab my lunch and dash up the stairs, eager to be there first. I'll need to ask Gwen to leave, and I'll need to... Hi, Sal. Sorry I was another run this morning. I overslept. Somehow both Emmy and Rin have managed to get to the roof before me. Oh, that's no problem. Last night was kind of draining, I guess. Emmy's expression doesn't alter in the slightest. Yeah, sorry about that, but I've had such a weird morning since then. Oh, really? Emmy proceeds to make small talk for the rest of the time. I can barely get a word in edgewise, and soon find myself interjecting with this sort of back-and-forth dialogue. It seems to have defined our early relationship. I'm not gonna get anywhere on this problem during lunch, obviously. I can respect that. Emmy obviously doesn't want to actually pull Rin into things, and that's fine. Not that I think Rin would notice, but I can at least respect that sort of rationale. I try a different tactic. Hey Emmy, what are you up to after class today? I was thinking we could go somewhere for dinner or something. Emmy looks generally remorseful. Sorry, Sal, I promised the track captain I'd stick around after practice and help some of the other kids with their form. It'll have to be some other time. Yeah, sure. I'm honestly not sure what to do now. Maybe diving into things the day after would be a bad idea anyway. She might still be angry about it and just not showing it. Besides, if she's got track team responsibility, that's fine, right? I tell myself some variations on this theme the next day. Then the next day, I wake up, run with Emmy, during which she refuses to talk about anything but the run about what she was doing the night before. And then lunch, where do we sit, and we make small talk until the bell rings. Her new responsibilities effectively keep me from seeing her outside of school. Maybe, just maybe, I'm letting it happen because it's safer this way, just like the nurse said. Except, well, maybe it's safer I'm feeling more and more wretched. Emmy doesn't look good when I see her anymore. Dark circle lurks around under her eyes. She seems more and more distracted. And I can't bring myself to just ask what's wrong because the timing never seems right. I'm absolutely miserable.